what's up YouTube? Alright, we're on to part 7. Part 6, we did all the wet forming on the holster. Before we get started, I just want to go, I don't know what the deal is with YouTube's comments. I see they put that community section back to do comments. Somebody left a comment on one of my holster videos, and I cannot comment back anywhere. Google Plus, in the comment section. It shows up on my email, but it doesn't show up on the comments page of the video. So what a viewer asked was he didn't understand how I came up with these. Let me see if I can bring you in. Maybe that'll work. He was unsure about how I came up with these two pieces, how to line up my belt slots from the stiffener to the main part of the holster. I don't know if I even mentioned that in the one video, but what I did was I took a piece of scrap leather, the exact same size as my 1.5 inch belt. I basically laid it across. I put these two pieces together. I laid it across both of them at the cant I wanted, and then I just took a pen and marked on both sides, and that's how I came up with that. So I hope that clears that up for him. Again, I apologize for not contacting you back through the comment section. I just can't seem to find you. Also, before we get started, I want to show you I've switched the thread I'm using. I'm not using this big bulky thread anymore. I know this was cotton. I think it was 1 millimeter if I'm correct. Let me see. Yeah, 1 millimeter, which is huge. This stuff is like rope compared to, let me back you out. I mean, that's pretty thick compared to the new bonded nylon I'm using. So the old stuff was 1 millimeter cotton. The new stuff is 270 bonded nylon. I don't know if it'll pick that up or not. Let's see if it will. There it is. So 270 bonded nylon, it's a way, way thinner profile. I mean, again, I don't know if that'll pick it up, but look at the difference. So the thinner, I think, in my opinion, looks a lot better. It's a lot neater than this big, heavy stuff. Because when you wet it and dry it, it takes all the moisture out of the leather. We want to put a little bit of that moisture back in. Now, you don't want to saturate it and you don't want to dunk it in a thing of oil, because then it becomes like a baseball glove and it becomes very mushy, and then the retention won't stay. We don't want to put any oil on the inside, only the outside. All right, and not a lot. We just want just a little dab will do you, basically. Now, some people use mink oil, which I have used, and it works pretty well. And a lot of guys use what's called Neatsfoot oil. It's specially made for leather, and so is the mink oil. But a lot of guys use this Neatsfoot oil, and I think it seems to work pretty well. So what I do is I just give it a quick little shake. Take a little wool dauber and just wet it a little bit. Alright. Now again, we don't want to do the inside of the holster, just the outside. So then I just start here and just apply it. Now, be forewarned, I hope I'm on camera here. Sorry if I was off camera. Be forewarned that Neatsfoot oil, even mink's oil, will darken the stain a little bit. It'll definitely darken up your finish. So keep that in mind if you are going to use the oil after you wet mold it. Keep that in mind when you're staining about the shade that you're starting with, because it is going to darken it up a little bit. And be, like I said earlier, be generous, or don't get crazy. This stuff goes a long way, and they even get inside the belt slot. Am I in frame? I apologize if I keep going out of frame. Sometimes it's hard to do this stuff on camera. And I saturate it pretty good. Now you only want to go over this one application. If you put too much on, you'll soften the leather way too much. Alright, so that's all I do. Now I'm just going to let this sit for a little bit. Let the leather soak it in a little bit. The Neatsfoot oil is all saturated in the leather. It's drying. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the inside of the holster. Now I'm going to use a product. I think I showed this in previous videos. Product's gum Trag. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some fibers that are standing up on the inside of the holster. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply that on there, and we're basically going to burnish it. We're going to take like a stick, a piece of wood, a piece of plastic, that deer antler that I showed in the past video, anything, and basically burnish the inside to flatten it out and make it smooth. So what I do is give it a quick shake. And what I do is I pour some of it onto the cap, only because if this stuff will pick up any stain or anything like that, and it'll darken this, and then you put it back in the bottle. It's just a safer way of doing it, I think. Take my wool dauber, and we just apply it. I gave a good liberal coating to the inside to let it dry for just a couple of minutes. You don't want it perfectly dry. You want to do this when it's damp. Again, I'm off camera, sorry. And what we want to start doing is basically just start burnishing the inside. Okay, the two processes that we did, applying the Neatsfoot oil to the outside and using the gum Trag on the inside to burnish the inside to lay these fibers down, it's all complete. Now what I'll do is I'll let this sit for 24 hours, let it dry, and then basically the last part of this series is going to be just using the sealer on the inside and out. Let it sit, and the holster is complete. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I appreciate you watching. Be good and be safe. Thanks for watching.